one of the most important books I ever read about communism and Marxism makes that exact point. It's by a pastor who was tortured by savages in Romania for years, Pastor Richard Wurmbrand. Marx and Satan.
Yeah, I've read the book. Great book.
Unbelievably good. It's very small, easy to read. He's got some of Marx's own poetry in there. The guy was not an atheist. He was a Satanist. He was in league with Satan, and he knew it. His goal was to destroy God's creation and God's people and God's moral order. And so, yeah, I mean, communism is clearly demonic. Globalism is clearly demonic. Another really good writer who's touched on these things, really from an academic perspective, is the great Stanford historian Anthony Sutton, who exposed Wall Street's funding of the Bolshevik Revolution, Wall Street's funding of the Nazi war machine, Wall Street's involvement in so many evil things, and also the Skull and Bones, right? So these are all really important books. And in terms of where we're at politically as a country, I think we're really at a fork in the road, Matt. And what we do over the next few years is going to determine whether Christian civilization and our constitutional republic survive for our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, or whether it's all gone and whether we head into an age of darkness and global tyranny. I don't know which way it's going to go. I know which way I hope it will go. I know that I'm working my hiney off 6 days a week to try to make sure it goes the right direction because I love my children and I love my fellow human beings. I want to be salt and light. But I think what we're going to see here in the not too distant future, Matt, and I don't say this to scare people. I just want people to have a good sense of what's coming. Fear not. The Lord did not give us a spirit of fear. We just need to, Paul says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. That would be ridiculous. We're headed toward what the World Economic Forum calls a poly-crisis. They're going to unleash crisis after crisis after crisis on us that will make the COVID crisis look like, to quote Klaus Schwab, a small disturbance by comparison. Think cyber pandemic, as he calls it, electrical problems, technological communications problems, currency issues.
All right, Alex, what do you tell Christians to do and citizens, all citizens of goodwill? What do you do? I mean, I've got a backup plan. What do you have a backup plan, or do you just say, hey, you know what, America, it used to be owned by French, and the Spanish owned it for a little bit. The Indians had it, and we're just going to change the flag out and be it under a different leadership. What do you do?
That's a good question. First, yes, you need a plan. In fact, Proverbs tells us that the wise see danger coming and prepare themselves. The fools, the simple, keep on going and they pay the price. So don't be the fool, right? Recognize there are storm clouds gathering on the horizon. You have an obligation to protect your family, your wife, your children. So make good decisions. And that begins with improving yourself, getting educated, having a good understanding of what's going on, protecting your children from this evil. If you still have your kids in a government brainwash camp, that should be the number one order of business. Get them out right this moment. Like, treat the building like it's on fire. Run. I don't care if it costs you your life to get them out of there. Don't tell me about you're going to have to sacrifice a Disney vacation. Get them out of the burning building. Most important thing you could do. I don't like to sound pessimistic, but my family and I are moving out to a farm in the next couple of months. We plan to live on a farm. We're going to raise cattle and chickens, and we've bought some gold and silver, and of course, we've invested a little bit in lead. And I'm pretty bearish on the direction of the economy, as you might tell. So